Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What's that? Oh, there are people in my chat. Ugh. Yeah. Oh, sorry, no. I meant hair in my soup. Sorry, different thing. No, it's fine you being there. Honest. Yes, I confused the two. Sorry. Right, so let's read a bit of chat, shall we? That should be a good start, shouldn't it? Maybe. Hello, V'ger, welcome. Hi, Mr. W. Hello. Man, this new ETS2 lighting system is hurting my eyes. It makes my headlights way too bright. Are you using a mod truck? Because I think that mod trucks, a lot of them don't have correct brightnesses for the lights. If you're using stock vehicles, then I think you should be fine, as far as I know. Right, oof. Watch yourself for headaches. I just drive with markers on. Hey all, it's fine for me. There's a bit of an issue with overly bright reversing lights, but other than that, it's fine, I think. Well, I don't know about you, but I play on all low. Maybe it's just the mod. Probably. Hey. Yes, hello, Kangofango. Alright. I've not the highest settings either, but if you've got graphics mods installed, or maybe even just one, it could potentially mess things up. Hey, how are you today, Mr. W? Got no graphic mod installed. Fine, thanks. I was gonna say no headaches, but now... Alright, wait, what? But now? To be fair, I did print stuff off as soon as I came home from school, and an online meeting after that, so that's probably it. Boo. Yes, oh, sorry, that was me. Oh, I see. Going to say that I hadn't had any headaches, but now I feel one coming on. Yeah, maybe just turn the brightness of the screen down in that case, because a bright screen definitely can cause headaches, or amplify them. I know that from personal experience. I've heard that physically visualizing the ache in your mind and then imagining it floating towards the sun, getting smaller and smaller until it's burnt up, can help. Sure. Oh. So yes, maybe try that. Perhaps. Not a joke. Yeah, I know. I'll just try and not watch the screen too much. Oh, alright. Boo. Oh, I didn't realize it was Thursday already. I don't think it is. Oh geez, I'm using a Mustang mod. I don't know. Not got. Oh right, never tried that. Shredder's way ahead of you. Shredder's rescreen bright. Haha. Oh, great then. Hello Trains Plus, welcome. How are you? Good evening, I'm here again. Yes, on stream you're red, but here you're very, very dark blue. Hey, right, so Wednesday, which means Transport Fever 2, which means I need to switch over the sounds, which means I'll need to open the system preferences, go into... Well, I could do it up at the top. I prefer doing it this way. Right, and then going over and starting it. In chat, Trains Plus is like lime green, like a lime green. For me, it's dark blue. Also, I think this could help, Mr. W. It tints the screen orange just a little bit, but so that the light isn't as blue. Yes, that also helps, definitely. Hey, for me, you're pine green. Ah, cheers. 6 people in chat. Huh. And all you're doing is watching a loading screen. Don't worry, we'll get some more exciting stuff later. When it's actually, finished loading. Well, then we can reload and reload and all that. So, definitely exciting stuff. No problem. Vigorous gameplay right here. Oh, and riveting too. Vigorous gameplay. By the way, does anyone get the quote of the stream title? It's a bit of a modified quote, but what's the use of good quotation if you can't change it? To quote another thing. There you go. Exclamation mark stream title. Admiral, there be rails here. Oh, you've typed that. That's not the command because it's not orange. Oh, so you've typed it out? Test. It's odd. Oh, you've typed it out that time. Whoa, they've changed it. What have they changed? Oh yeah, they have. Yeah. Oh, well that's a bit sad. Slash me now makes it italic. Huh. My. Yeah. Oh wow, they have. Oh, I preferred it the other way. Made it a bit easier to spot those things. It reminded me of Portal 2 that I played recently. Oh, the test. Yeah, of course. Right, so this is where we ended last stream. This is Harbin. Here's a reference I put in chapter 3. Emilia on Christmas Eve morning be like cremas. Crema? I don't know. Of course. Transpass, have you got the end of the game to the end of the game yet? Can you guess the reference? Sorry, I can't. Just re-reference Doctor Who, Star Trek? Yes, Star Trek. Star Trek 4 specifically. This is really nice. You can see the trains going off in the distance, and you can just hop over here quickly. You can see the trains meet. Right, so, if I remember correctly, which I hope I do, we had this line. Where's the brown line going? To Beijing, right? The brown line's going all the way to Beijing. Because last time, one of the things I did is I connected Nanjing up with passengers. Previously, it's only had a passenger connection with ships, basically, over to Nur Sultan. But now I've built this line over here along the mountains, along this way, going over to Shantou. And I built a little branch going off like that, connecting it over to here, but not directly to Harbin, but instead over to Beijing, because I want these to be two separate lines. Because I've already got a railway line that's going from Kobe, over here, to Harbin, and then to Beijing, and then back. If I had a line that goes from Nanjing down to Harbin, and then Beijing, and then Harbin, and then back, then those two lines would cannibalize each other on this bit. So instead, I want a line that goes directly from Nanjing to Beijing, and one that goes directly from Nanjing to Harbin. So let's quickly set up that other line. Not sure how profitable it's going to be, but let's see. At the moment, we've got just over 2,000 public transport connections. And if I make this line a thing, that seems to be fine. It's using the right tracks. Yes, it is. Let's rename this from Nan to Har passenger train. Let's put a little train on it. Now what should we use? Actually, is it no, the date's not taken by. I need to set that to 1x speed. Well, yeah, I guess we'll use these ones. Yeah, these ones will be good. Let's just use like 3 coaches maybe. Let's buy 2 of them. Let's put them on this one, the green line. I'm not oh, you can see there's this train currently departing, and then you've got the new train in the depot, and you've got another train waiting at the station. You can see there are quite a lot of people waiting here as well. Well, there were. The other train, this one, is probably... Actually, no, not this one. This one's quite empty. Where did all those people go? Are they in here? No, that's odd. Oh, I must have missed another train. Huh. This one? Ah, this one. Yes, this one has got 97 people riding it. Oh, look at that. This is why I've got the bridge here, because you can see this train's going above it, the other train is going below it. That's why I've got the bridge there. Because this train at the bottom is quite long and quite heavy, especially if it's coming loaded from over here, because you can see it's loading logs up here. So that's why I've done that. And now let's see how the destinations have changed. Yeah, you can see now we've got 2,100 destinations. 2,100 and, well, it's ticking up. 36, 37, it's just ticking up. 38, which means that people are actually using this, are probably going to use this connection actually. Maybe a little bit of smoothing could be useful here. A little bit of smoothing. Maybe using this brush. And then also painted grass, maybe. Yeah, maybe try the other grass. Just to kind of set it into the landscape a bit better. I'll rechat in a little bit, don't worry. There we go. I think that's a bit better. Also, this passenger train that's just come in here. How much money? Oh, it's not. Oh, it's one people's in it. One passenger. Yeah, this is not that going to be that profitable, especially since apparently not many people want to. Well, it brought 11 people here, and then yeah, it's just ships because it's got a ship connection over there. How many public transport links? Yeah, see, it's got under 1,000 public transport links, so that's not great. But there's not much that I can change about that. You can see how busy this line is now down here. Let's just leave the camera by the crossing. And then I'll rechat. I had it at 9th time. Have you got... okay. Where is it from, Vija? Transplus, what do you mean? So you've completed Portal 2 9 times? Yeah. Wow. I adore the ending of Portal 2. Clue, YouTube funny animation. Yeah, that's not gonna give me that much, because I'm not that caught up with that particular realm of the internet. I've completed the 2 a few times, same with the community mods on Steam, apart from Thinking with Time Machines, which I haven't completed. Which resulted in many memes. Ah, space. Spoiled. Oh, I see. I'm not sure which one you mean. GLaDOS. might not have seen it. Oh, Russian locomotives. Yes, because this is the Tropic. I'm not playing with any mods. I want to complete one game of Transport Fever 2 before I open the floodgates to mods, because I want to get the complete vanilla experience, at least of one of the 3 settings, kind of. So for the stream, I've of course chosen this one because this is the first game that I'm really playing of Transport Fever 2, because I am playing even though Transport Fever 2 has been out for a long time, it's only recently been updated so that it supports Mac, which was the first time that I could play it, even though I've actually owned it for a lot longer. And that's why I started the streaming on Wednesdays as well, because I wanted to stream playing this game, because I'm so excited that it's finally available for Mac. And so yeah. Right, so this is the tropical setting and Asian vehicles pack. Train Plus, I was thinking more the turrets. But I think we can put our differences behind us. Oh boy! Pkormas? I don't know. Ikrimas? I don't know. For science! Oh, for science. But we can put a difference behind us for science, yeah. You monster. For science, you monster, yes. All the Portal quotes, all the Portal 2 quotes, all of them. Why would you say that to me? Ha ha ha, yes. What do you think they should do for Portal 3, if anything? I've heard some people suggest a prequel. Well, perhaps. Perhaps, because the thing is, with the Portal storyline, it's kind of hard to continue into the future with that unless you want to explore the world around Aperture Science facilities. But I think that a prequel might be good. Although you kind of already know where things are heading then, which then... Although, seeing as all the portalable stuff is made from moon rock dust, it might be interesting to have a game set on the moon, because they must be mining that somewhere, or quarrying it. Maybe a game set there, and how that thing is going. That might be interesting, because things set on the moon is usually either a commercial space station sort of thing, or scientific or military, but like commercial I mean people. But actual mines, quarrying on the moon is a very rare thing, because usually in science fiction the moon doesn't really have that much valuable stuff on it. But in the Portal universe it very much does. So that could be interesting, maybe. Triplets, also, you know about Half-Life Easter egg in Portal 2, which has big implications for the lore? Nobody getting the reference? Anybody? Fine, I'll tell you. It's Monkey's famous quote. Moki's famous quote. I don't know, sorry. I'm just not getting it. It's the Borealis. It's real? The Borealis. The ship. Spoilers. It's not in the shipyard, but yeah. Yep. The life ring does appear, though. I don't think they will want to do a third prequel part. It's nothing to do in past there. I think it depends on how hard you look. Well, maybe detailing the survival of the scientists as GLaDOS went mad. Well, you kind of know that they won't survive, though. As far as I know. Also, it's interesting how they've got a shipyard miles below surface level. True, but underground rivers are a thing. Maybe the Ratman comics into games? Maybe. Oh yeah, oh my. Week. I completed Half-Life and its episodes 16 times each. Oh, I see. Looks strange. I think it will be end bad. Half-Life, Half-Life 2, Episode 1, Episode 2. Both in normal and Gmod. Impressive. Open the floodgates to mods. Now that's a scary thought. Yes, I know. Which is why I want to get the vanilla experience first. Fair, Portal isn't exactly a happy story. I like Portal more than Half-Life, but Half-Life is my heart too. It's in my heart too. I haven't actually played Half-Life, but I've watched a game theory episode on who G-Man is. Shredder's, oh yes! That was probably about the moon thing, yes. Same, and also, I think I've seen that too. Closest thing I've played is Half-Life, to Half-Life is probably Garry's Mod, probably. Re-Moon Portal. I see, yes! Set it on the moon! I've not heard of Moki, sorry. Of course, you never watched Moki's show by Sar Pelo. Nope, never heard of it. Never heard of it. Right, so let's see what the town's connections are. Yeah, now we're over 2,200 connections. And as those cities grow, they will grow more buildings, which will grow more connections and stuff. But you can see just how busy this corridor has gotten. And then over here, you can see we've got these 3 lines coming on as well. So you can see if I positioned the camera here, we would see not only all these train lines going across, we'd also see the bus line going across. And, well, there are a couple of lines that, well, where is it? There are a couple of lines that terminate here. For example, the green line, the passenger line. And then we've got, of course, the planks line that goes over to there, and then other stuff as well. But I think that may be the highest concentration of, well, trains at one point that we've got so far. So that's great. So what do we do next? Oh, did we ever hook up? Oh yeah, we did hook up. How is this doing? This oil bit. How's this line doing? Oh, this line's making good profit. It's full. What is this line's rate? 400. What is this thing's rate? 400. So this should be fine, theoretically, because it's not sharing any of the track. It's just going back and forth. Although this is also a very busy spot. Yeah, if you look all the lines they're crossing over here, this could be our busiest spot. Anyway, right, so what do we need to do? What do we need to do? Well, Beijing really needs to grow more. At this point, actually we're not delivering as many tools as we could be. Huh. I think we need more planks, really. Do we need more planks? Well, there's a plank train coming in right now. It's not completely full. Huh. I think that if I upgraded the locomotives on the log trains, this may have a beneficial impact. So modify them. And at the moment we are using, I think, which ones are these? Can I not see? No, I can't see, unfortunately. I think it's these ones. So, yeah, let's change them out with these ones, sure. They're quite a bit stronger. Well, little. No, let's upgrade them with these ones. Yeah, these ones. There we go. And now these ones should speed up the log trains, which means that they should speed up the lumber, well, yeah, the lumber production as well. So that's good. Right, so now what? We really need to set up the iron steel chain, because we've got towns all over the place that need it. We don't have any yet. So, where are our steel mills? We've got one up here at Shantao. So over here we've got not much up there. We've got one over here. We've got one down there. So it's 3. And I think that that's it. Let me have a look at the industries panel as well. Industries, product, produces. Still, no, we've got 4. We've got one Hangzhou. Oh, we've got one down here as well on the island. Well, I don't think we'll be serving this one because that's just too isolated. We'd have to do shipping with, well, ships, which is, I know, a horrifying thought. So, where should we do it? We could, well, it depends. Where do we need to ship the steel? We need to ship it, for example, down here for goods production, and over to there, for example, for machine parts construction. So it's really one of those three. For one there, one up there. Well, this would be a really quick job actually going down there. Getting the steel from up there to down there, that could be really nice. And then that also has a lot of iron mines around it. And then we've got this one. If we did put it there, then we could have this coming across like that. We could have stuff going from up there, down there, and then coming in, which would use already established infrastructure, basically. We could ship it a longer distance to earn more money. Yeah, I think we're going to use this one at Shantou, I think. Oh, Trains Plus, you're going? Oh, well, and good night, Trains Plus. Hope you have a nice night. What's that? Ah, I see. That's okay. Let's see. Let's read a bit of chat. Shays, you don't know that they won't survive. Most didn't, but Dark Ratman, scientist whose friend is literally a talking companion cube, gone bonkers and everything after escaping GLaDOS' rampage. Yes, but did he actually escape and attain freedom? Moki is better than normal Mickey. I don't know. You never see the chap, but you can find his dens throughout the first and second games. Yes, agreed. And the final den in Portal 2, point the portal gun at the fan on the floor and shoot. And also listen closely to the right wall as you go in. Ooh. It's full, it's full. This game features animals. A bear, a goat, a bull. Oh, I see. Don't know if it has goats. Oh, I see. Where's that one? Surely it's not the one with the singing turrets. Oh, right. I think I know which one you mean. You'll hear vocals, but not of the turrets. It's quite late in the Ukraine, so I need to sleep. Maybe I will watch full streamless later. Yeah, good night. The final Redman's Den. Is it the room with the many mugs? I don't know, maybe. Good night, bye. Alright, good night, bye. Is it the creepy one with the mugs, where you can see the fan's creepy shadow? Yep, that's the final den, Portal 2. Ah, I see. Yeah, that's the creepiest den, I think. Mostly due to the vocal soundscape. Sounds creepy. Right, so we need a station. We need tracks. Right, so... terminus should be fine. Let's do... Is 240 meters? Let's do 320 meters. Sure. The longest platform we've had so far, I think. And how much do we need? Should we electrify it straight away? Probably, since we're going to hit 1930 soon. We're still going to get some electric locos quite... Although, should we? No, let's not. Let's not do it now. We can electrify it later. So, how many tracks? We need... Let's have 2 unloading tracks. And then let's have 2 loading tracks for steel. So we'll have 4 platforms to start with. And... yeah, that's a bit... Well, okay. So... I hope the town's not going to grow in this direction too much, because otherwise we're going to run into emissions issues. But it should be fine, hopefully. Let's place that there for over 1 million. Then let's run a nice little road along here. Then along like that. That should be in the catchment radius, no issue, yes. Right. What's this called? Shantou West? No. Let's call it... Smoky Steel. Smoky Steel. Right. Because the thing is, with... This is the residential area. It is quite spread out, because you can see there's a lot of residential stuff intermixed with industrial. For example, this is a very high density, very high production, well, consumption building. right next to residential. And the same with the commercial as well. You can see it's how it's just interwoven. It's actually quite interesting. Right. Actually, where was I? Ah, this is the one. See? Anyway. Right. What do we need? We need tracks, hopefully. Right. So where should this connect, basically, is the question. So we could connect it on the bridge, but then... Okay, well, where do we want to get our first steel and iron from? I think probably from over here, because there's so much stuff here. We can have a station... Actually, could we have a station between those two? Sharing? Maybe between all three. Oh, if we could have a station between all three, that'd be great. I think a single track station should suffice. Oh, not quite. Actually, well, if I placed it... Well, how close would it have to get to work? Ah, all the way over here. No, that's not going to work then, unfortunately. Unless I'm just going to use trucks. I think I'm probably going to use trucks then. Have this right at the crossroads. Right there. Probably twist it a bit to get a bit of a better angle. Like that. Is that connected? I hope it is. Is it? No, it's not. There's a mod that lets you add this little connection bits, but I don't have any mods, as you know. Right, so we've got this station here, and it's not within the catchment radius of anything, basically, but that can be remedied. So if I configure the station, I can put a cargo platform there, and then a little cargo ramp building down there, just like that. And then if I put a road connection from there, put that there, and twist it slightly to come in like this. And now you can see it's within the range of the coal mine. So, because the thing is, you need 2 bits of coal and 2 bits of iron to get 1 bit of steel. So if you can get the coal from these 2 coal mines and the iron from these 2 iron mines, then that should be great. Hopefully. So I can't really extend the range in this direction because it's already pretty much a straight shot up there. And in this direction neither. So what we need is a, well, trucks. We need trucks. Right, so this doesn't need to be that long, but I do want 3, well, yeah, I do want, let's have it, yeah, I do want 3 platforms, just so that they don't block each other as much. Oh, and we've just entered 1930. Let's pause, because I do want to purchase stuff for my museum. Let's add another road connection there. We don't need this to be long, because this is only for dropping off stuff. We'll probably need to upgrade these roads as well, because of the speeds that'll be attainable. And then for here we need loading bays. So 1 platform will do, but it needs to be the largest thing. So actually, oh, that's actually, does this? That's gonna be interesting. The thing is, if I build this right there, then it covers it. Right, so that covers that. I can just have a little hop around there. Then we need one... Okay, if I ran a little road along the side, like that, then how close could I get to it? Oh, pretty close actually. Like just there basically. Okay. So put it just there. That's those two. This one's done, this one's done, this one's done. Now the only remaining one is this one up here. So let's put in a truck stop. Well, yeah, so let's put it in there. But then let's also put in a little bit of a road like that, just to cut that little corner, because stopping and going around corners like that does take more time than just siphoning off like this. And this is quite realistic as well. Right, so now that that's all set up, I need a depot, a road vehicle depot. And since this seems to be the center of activities down here, let's have the, actually, we can now use this little stub on the end of the line right there to do it like, well, put it on like that. That works. It's still connected, so that's good. However, we are facing a mountain, which is okay since we need to connect up to this line. Hold on, I'll buy our vehicles from the museum, and then I'll rechat. That's what do we have? Okay, this one is going to become, well, unavailable in the 30s, so I'll purchase one of these ones. This one's 40s, so that's fine. Just one of them will do. So it's just good. The 40s actually, no, that's 40s as well. Oh well, yeah, but look at it. Let's have a look at the new stuff. We've got a new coach. This one, the Egorvo 22, which is same speed, slightly higher capacity, much lower loading speed, slightly less emissions, heavier. But then this one's basically worse. It's got the same, well, actually, yeah, that's more expensive. Wow, that's odd. Same speed, one more capacity, so instead of 19, it's 20. But the loading speed goes down from ×4 to only ×2. Got one less emission, from 62 to 61. It weighs 5 tons more, but it's available for longer. But only 20 years longer. Same lifespan. That's really odd. Can you tell me, it's basically the same coach, only very, very slightly better, arguably worse in some cases, because it's got a lower loading speed, which means trains will be stuck in platforms longer. Interesting. Right, let's have a look at our road depot. This one's gonna, okay, buy one of those ones for, it stops in the 30s. This one's 50s, 39, well, 39 this one as well. Okay, now let's have a look at the tram depot. 40s, 70s, yeah, we got a new tram as well, electric tram. More powerful, less capacity, but quite a few less emissions. Yeah, I can see that. Also a little bit slower. That's interesting. How's this doing? Yeah, it's doing okay. But really, Taoyuan is our biggest city so far, of course. Right, so you can see it's already expanding over here as well, which is nice, because that means that these houses are actually using this station oh. That's interesting. Why did that happen? Can I? No. I'll just have to add another little bit of road so you can actually get down there reasonably. There we go. That's slightly better. I suppose it's going to be interesting if you stand here looking at the station from up above. Anyway, let's put the timer down to 0 and let's find a nice spot. Sure, let's put the camera here again. Let's have it this way. Oh, sorry, wrong thing. Oh, there's a lot of chat. Interesting. I think with you, Kangafango and Mr. W, Portal is sort of the same equivalent as to when I talk about Doctor Who or Star Trek. Which is really very nice. Where was I? Yes, and what I'm talking about only adds to the soundscape, as does pointing down at the fan and shooting a portal. Oh? If I'm remembering rightly from the video I saw. Oh, right. The fan itself doesn't make the sounds I'm referring to, though. Shadais, I didn't think he escaped to freedom. I believe he's traveling behind the scenes, hiding away from GLaDOS. Haven't read the comic through though, so I don't know for sure. Yes, but that's what I meant. When I hear escape, I thought, okay, I'm free now. I don't have to fear for my life. Wasn't it coming from the walls? I've not done it myself, but as you've probably gathered, watched a video from it. All behind the walls. Yep, and that's likely Ratman. Ah, right, I've watched vids on it and done it myself. Behind the walls. Yep, most likely Ratman. But I assume you haven't shot down the fan in the same room? Not sure. Might have done. What's down there? Look for yourself. I can't. Portal 2 wasn't made 64-bit, meaning that it doesn't work on macOS anymore. I couldn't install in Parallels, but that also takes space, yeah. Also, in the final scenes, as you're watching and listening to the turrets, as you go upwards, you can see me something. What do you mean? Also, when you exit the den, jump down into the actual chamber, it blocks it off and you can't get back up there. Damn it! Didn't work. Yeah. I mean, /me, yeah, it is. Oh, you can see something. You wanted to make it italics, italic, I can see. Yes. Yeah, only works when you type it at the very beginning, unfortunately. Well, I'll tell you. You put a portal on the wall, then shoot down at the fan, and on the floor there's a space below the fan. I've heard about that too. Not entirely sure if it's him, though. It's quite blurry. Yeah, some people say it's Frankenturret, but it just looks too human. Too human, in my opinion. Ah, right. I think I went down there like once, but I can't remember what's back there. If I recall correctly, it just loops back to the den's exit. I don't know. Maybe. Oh, that's one. I think it's one of them too. It does look weird. But if you compare the silhouettes, they're very similar. I'd say at least. If I remember rightly, the soundscape in that specific room is the creepiest in the game. Oh? Yeah, I don't know either. I thought you were referring to the other room, the elevator. The room the elevator passes during the ending cutscene after the concert hall, where it quickly rushes past. I think what persuaded me that it was Ratman hiding away was the fact that the limping isn't as quick as a Franken turret, and it also seems like whatever's limping is doing it deliberately inconspicuously. Ooh. Oh no, I think it's the concert hall. I don't remember the thing that you're talking about, but I have seen people say that they've seen the Black Mesa logo somewhere. Oh. Connected universes are great. I suppose so. I haven't gotten it in front of me right now, but I think the entire game has slowed down at that specific point because when the elevator departs, it's quick. It slows down when it passes the concert hall, and then it speeds up again. Not sure if the changing speed is in the game world or not. Ah, right. Also, Mr. W, have you ever tried Portal 2's multiplayer? Sorry. Trace, yay, new coach. Yeah, definitely. GLaDOS allows the turrets to serenade you out. I have with Shardise himself, than with a few other people. Yeah. Played around with it a bit, I remember. So the changing in the elevator speed, yeah, fond memories of when freedoms were still a thing that people had. So the changing in the elevator speed does actually happen in the game. Wow, I didn't know that. Nice, I've played with him too a few times years back. On my own maps, actually. Where was I? Where was I? Still got some up on the workshop too, I think. I would think so. It would be a bit weird if GLaDOS to have the turrets sing you out and still keep you speeding past. True. Yes. XD true. But the rate at which the elevator slows down and speeds up is very fast, so it wouldn't be comfortable riding it. I think at least. Actress who voiced GLaDOS is a genuine opera singer there too. Oh, nice. Yeah, Shadows, yay, nice connection road to the station. I knew Alan McLean. Orion. Starship Orion. McLean, you're grounded. What does he do? Well, he just takes off anyway. Shadows, wow, there's a lot of chat. Yeah. Right. True, but I guess GLaDOS just wants Shell out of her life and doesn't really care about her comfort. Just doesn't care enough about her to kill her. Ha! I called it. I guess, yeah, you did. I guess, but why bother with the whole serenade if you bounce her around in the elevator? Meanwhile, I reskin some Australian railcars. Ah, nice. What livery? Fictional or a real one? It's true, I guess. It's Xdidity. We both love lore in games, and Portal is a game that we're both fairly well versed in the lore. XD. Nice, hope you're having fun. True, but maybe just done to creep her out? One last goodbye? Most likely. Frankenthorpe. Yes, I know what they look like. Wheatley created them, I suppose. As for what's back there, I don't think anything is, and that's what makes it creepy. Voiced by? Do you know? Ah, yes, Wheatley. And I got to turn the mesh around. Oh, I see. Oof. Also, all of the turret's movements are slower at that point. I'm fairly sure that it's the Franken turret myself, but who knows. Trace, well, still alive, actively references Black Mesa. Oh, I had no idea. I know the song, but I had no idea it did that. Oh, I don't know. I'll have to look. Maybe you'll find someone else. Oh, right. Oh, that bit. Yes, of course, now. Maybe you'll find someone else to maybe Black Mesa. That was a joke. Fat joke. I'm not sure. I know the melody. I just don't know the melody to those parts. It's been many, many years. I think like 7 years since I've last heard that song. Maybe you'll find someone else to help you. Black Mesa. That was a joke, haha. Fat joke. No, that's a different one. No, that's the other song. That's not Still Alive. That's the other one from 2. Or is it? I don't know. That? Alright. Yep, fictional. Using them for my railway. Ah, nice. Wheatley? Stephen Merchant? Aye, aye. Sure is. Yeah, that's what you gone. The wrong one. Yeah. Anyway, what do we do now? We look at the person. A lot of people waiting here, but that's okay because we've got multiple platforms. That's good. How are these ones doing? Not great, but that's okay. How are the emissions looking? Well, again, not really great per se. Oh, that should be fun. Anyway, what do we do? Now, what do we do? We want this to go and do the thing. We need to hook up the station. Oh, that was weird. I just had some like VSync issue. Anyway, this needs to come out here. Actually, let's do it from this side. This comes over here. Let's have it branch off there. I'll need to connect like that. No catenary, please. We'll add that when we have electric locos. Not a great top speed over there, but we kind of have to do that. Otherwise we'll get strange junctions. And I will leave a little bit of space here for the junction, just in case. We have trains that are a little bit longer, so they won't block the junctions. But let's just signal this up. Might as well. Signal there. Signal there. Like that. That's gonna go along here, down to there. And do I want it to take the same bridge? I think yes. Although, should I? It needs to go up there. So, what would a bridge look like? A junction look like on the bridge? We have it level. Yeah, that's what I really don't want. Have this look. Yeah, that's the issue. This kind of jutting outbits. You can do these junctions, but I think that this might be our only option. Unless, of course, I separate it off beforehand and just have it... Yeah, that could work. So if I separate it off here... Have the points come over this side here. Maybe the other way. Yeah, fine. Right? Then have this go... Nope, not like that. Why isn't it going parallel? I thought. Anyway, let's have this go parallel to the tracks. It does even fit with the crossing. Let's have this parallel onto the bridge, and then we can have the bridge. Those two tracks split off. That might look better. Hopefully. So where would they actually need to split off? They'd need to... Well, let's see. If this up here goes down like... We need a bit of space for mergers. It'll come down like this probably. Yeah, and it'll probably come... on... roughly... here, essentially. Yeah, just going over like this. Let's keep it nice and level up until this point. Yeah, we still have this issue. Can't really do anything about that. Maybe there's a mod that fixes it. But I don't have any. Doesn't look the greatest having this very wide thing. Very, very wide bridge. But it does allow for a bit of a better view when going across it. Also, this is interesting. You can see we've got... Actually, no, it's not the same. I thought it was the same line, but it's not. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Hopefully. We should really be going downhill at this point. Can we make it downhill up to... No. Okay, we need to go straight across then. Over to... Well, let's say there. We need to have a little bridge over this bit. Not like that, that's not a bridge. Nope, that's as well is not... Ideally, I'd have it... bridge. There we go. That's what I want. And no bridge. No, I think I'll have to put the bridge in first, actually. Let's do that now. 1, 2, 3, maybe that? Nope. 4, yes. I need to get the angle right. Otherwise the Saxons aren't going to be happy. Get it? Anglo-Saxons, the angle right. Anyway, have this over like that, and I will use the girder bridge, simply because of speed. Not the film, but the actual, well, physical thing. Double tracks, of course. Then I can connect that up to there. Let's have it be an embankment. And then we can have this gently going downhill. Sort of... Actually, let's do the junctions first. Right, so if I have... Let's have this carry on straight out for a bit. Again, just so in case we have any longer even longer trains, that the junctions won't be an issue. And then let's have this one merge in there. Let's have this one curve over similarly. Well, actually, you know what? Let's use... Sure. There's a trick you can do where if you place the tracks like this, parallel like that, then you can use them to keep the distance basically between tracks. If you delete them afterwards, it's a nice little trick. That's odd. Why won't that? Oh, that will connect. That's good. Right, and then we can have this join in there. And then we can just delete these tracks in the middle, and we'll even get a refund. This will need to be extended a bit, of course. Like that. Right, and then these two will need to basically connect up. Rather a bit of a smoother curve like that, maybe. And if I delete this again, and have this connect up like that, and then we can have a crossover. So maybe we can just have it like that, perhaps, if it'll allow it. Yeah, it will. Great. So you can just have a crossover like that. Don't need a double slip switch, so this will allow access to all platforms. Then we can just have this go up to here. Let's have it an embankment by the oak. No, there aren't any oak trees here, probably. Then connect this up to there, like that. Good. And of course I also want to repaint this. Probably the other green as well a bit. Maybe? Oh, that's odd. It just changed colors a bit. That's really odd. That's okay, I think. Anyway, right, so now signaling. Let's have let's have signals here so trains can already start to depart. And then we'll need a signal just before the crossover. And then let's have a couple of signal pairs like this. Let's have one here as well. Just so we can get trains out of the station quickly, because that's going to be important. And then we can have them like that. And let's actually, it's fine. Have a signal there. Actually, let's have another one there. Let's have one there. Okay, so that should technically be everything hooked up. technically. Oh, and we've just broken $1 billion dollars. I guess they are. Down in the bottom left corner you can see. Right, so let's get the trucks and trains on the go. So what do we need to do? What indeed? Is there a depot that can access this? I don't think so. Well, probably. Well, yeah, there is this. Well, this one can access it. We'll use this one. We'll need some very strong machinery. So I think. Well, this one's technically stronger, but this one's better. Yeah, probably. Yeah, this one's better. So we need. Let's do one of these ones. And let's do half and half. Let's do... Actually, can I do half and half? Not sure that I can, actually. Can I? Actually, these ones we need. I'm not sure that I can, actually. So let's do... Wait, how long did I make the platforms? 1 second. 320 meters. That should be plenty of space. And we need to, of course, select the thing again. This one. These ones. Let's just do 320 meters long. 319 meters long, sure. And let's just have one of them to start with. This will cost us about $25 million. And I'm going to buy it. Then I'm going to make the line. So new line. A line going from here to there. And then let's call it Shah. Well, Shah Steel Pro for production freight train. So that train's on its way. So now we need truck lines. So let's have one going from there to there. I know, huge one. Let's do. Well, let's have a name for this place. Let's have it the Nanjing Valley. Nanjing Valley. 1 and then truck. Well, Nanjing Valley truck 1. So that's done. Now we need one going from there to there. Let's have them all the same color. Sure, why not? Because it'll get confusing. No, that's okay. Nanjing Valley truck 2. We need one that's going now from all the way up here, all the way there. Let's do Nanjing Valley truck 3. And here we're going to have to use the rates. So these all have a rate of 400. So let's do the first line first, shall we? We need these ones, all cargo, yeah, these ones. These ones are better, right? Capacity, well, they're actually slightly, well, slightly less capacity. Stronger, but same speed. Interesting. Yeah, I'm going to use the top ones because these ones also have a better loading speed. Let's try 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's also make them purple because this is, of course, the Nanjing Valley. So it has to be purple. Well, why does it have to be purple? It just has to be purple. So what's the rate? 401. Great. So that's settled. That rate's good. Now we'll need to do the next one. Maybe 6. So on that line, what's the rate here? Ooh, only 240. Interesting. We'll need to clone a few more vehicles. Manage vehicles. How about 8? Nope. Almost. So close. Let's do one more. There we go. That's over 400. Good. Now, last line. There's going to be many, many more trucks. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 maybe. Let's get that on truck 3. So, let's have a look. Oh, that rate is still so low. No, no, no. Still so low. More? Oh, we need so many trucks. Still not done it. Okay, let's just see. If I were to replace them with these trucks, would that get the rate up at all? So at the moment it's 407. That puts it at... No, that actually lowers the rate. So yeah, I was right. These ones are better for the job. Huh. So we'll need to put a bridge in here, because I don't want trucks waiting here to deposit stuff. So also maybe I'll need to upgrade the roads. We've got the trucks. Let's leave it like this for now. Let's just have a little bridge like that. That's a nice bridge. What if this come down? Let it come down like that. Then let's have this. Well, we can actually just have this join up over there, but that's not going to be nice. Let's see, could I just join this up there? Yes, I could. And let's have it like that. Hopefully the trucks are using the bridge. Yes, they are. I'll leave the crossing in just as a, well, as a keepsake, let's say. Right, so now let's have a little... Okay, so this has got proper rate, proper rate, proper rate. Good. Which means this should all jump into action. However, I'm going to save first. Tropical, stream tropical, yes, overwrite that, please. And this is going to be a huge train, our longest train so far. Which is why I've got this huge loco in front. And actually, I want the loco to be purple. Let's modify it. Let's get rid of the loco and re-add it but purple. There we go. Because of course, it's the valley, the Nanjing Valley. It's purple. Everything's purple here. That's, I mean, that is one powerful locomotive, isn't it? Just look at the size of that boiler. And you can see how long this train is. It's holding up everything as it's exiting the depot, whatever. Oh! Russian class... hold on. Maybe this locomotive will be replaced. Let's have a look. How do they compare? Modify. Right, so slightly faster. Much stronger. Much more expensive. Yeah, we're gonna replace it. And actually, I want to have it in the normal... Should I have it black? No, let's have it purple. Oh, there we go. Look at that locomotive. That's a strong locomotive, isn't it? Because this is actually also going over the along the mountainous road, so... And this is going to be full of iron and coal, so it's going to need something that's capable of handling that. Just look at this machine. Isn't that amazing? Look, it's even got windows in the top. And the roof, look at that. It would be so nice if they had different chuffing sounds as well for the different locomotives. But they don't. We can hold 444 items. This is not going to make a profit for the first couple of, well, however long it takes to run until these trucks can get the coal and iron up to the platform. But there should... Ah, look at that. There's already coal and iron waiting here. It's already got the connection and it's working. We may need a second one of these trains. Well, we definitely will need a second one of these trains, but that will come. Let's match the line and let's also tell it to Nanjing Transfer. It's actually quite a good name for it. Until full. Actually, no, I want to rename that station. I want to rename the station to Nanjing Valley Transfer. Look at that, it's already up to speed. Well, not exactly, but it's getting there. It's getting there. Oops, sorry, I dropped the mic. Let's ride along with it. Also, if you look up here, you can see those two coils on top there. I think those are dynamos for electric lighting and things like that. Let's have a look at this, shall we? I think we shall, please. From this side or from the other side? Well, this side we have a better view, but we won't see trains. Let's get it on the left side then. We could have it like this. That'll be nice. Just kind of flying over the side. Yeah, that'll be nice. Ooh, we can have it down here. Look at that. Well, we won't be able to see that much scenery down there. Let's have it like this. Sure. Sure, let's just have it like this. Nice, yeah, that's one to go, yeah, wrong. The other one was this, alright, this was a triumph. Might be slightly off there. Let me tell you, when GLaDOS sings the parts before Once You're Gone, it's really beautiful sung. It's beautifully sung. Yeah. You've got the melody now. You have to get it now. Maybe you'll find someone else to help you. No. No. That's not maybe. I don't know. First, gotta find the depths. Dependencies are. Yes, with the wrong one, I meant that Paradise sung that one, which in that context was the wrong one, yes. Like, you want your freedom? Take it. That's what I'm counting on, yes. Want your freedom? Take it. That's what I'm counting on. Ah, nice, good luck. I used to want you redacted, but now I only gone. Excellent. I'll let you get right to it. etc. Let's try singing it. Das vocal warm-up. Nah, I'm fine for now. Thanks though. Oh well, sorry. No worries, I could always try singing it with Paradise? Maybe not, I'm not sure. Right, Paradise, well, here we are again. Paradise, Kankango. Personally, I think that a video game song is good if it works as a normal song, and it's a genuinely good song, even taken out of the video game context. Yeah, I can see that. Thoughts? Yeah? I think that you can't... I think that if it works as a good song on its own, then I wouldn't generalize that much, because it could be that on its own it works great, but in the context of the game it doesn't fit well. Or it could be that in the context of the game it fits well, but as a song on its own without the game it just falls flat. So I mean, I guess I know what you're coming at, like what you mean, but I don't think that I necessarily agree with that. Let's sit at the front, shall we? Not here, but, well, at the front, like this. Or let's have it like this. Yeah, that'll be fun. True. So with song, I'm assuming you mean a piece of soundtrack with sung voiceover? Not even with lyrics. Oh, of course I got it. Shadows, Anglians, XD, Shadows. Ugh. Not the film. You've got the H at the end. Yeah, like the many versions of Ezio's Family, Earth, the Assassin's Creed series. Never heard that. I say both of them because they're both very similar songs. Not surprised, it's not your kind of game. So, would you say every piece of musical soundtrack from a game counts as a song? Every musical piece, yeah. Yeah, plus, even if I had it, and even if it was my kind of game, I probably wouldn't be able to run it. Ah. Absolutely, I would, yeah. Ah, Embankment by the Oak, Paradise? What's that a reference to? I'm genuinely confused. Please help, Paradise. What is, I think, a train song. Yeah. It's the railroad song, Jimmy something. It's like... No, not that. It's a Flying Scotsman song. Like, sit by the embankment by the oak, and every now and then I remember the old days, and sweet and smoke. It was 100 miles an hour, she was the fastest in the land, engine 4472, the Flying Scotsman. That's reference to that. XD. Also, Mr. W, I'm really looking forward to most of these people are lying. Oh yeah, so am I. At the start of the session, you're gonna try out the wheel thing you sent? Where? Oh right. What? What will be put on the wheel? Will all of the players see it, and who will spin it? For the choosing of the random Wikipedia article, you mean? Well, that was what I was thinking of doing. On second thought, we might just do it on Roll20, and the guesser will just pick. What do you mean, Roll20? We might just do it on Roll20, and the guesser will just pick. What do you mean? Why Roll20? I may have needed to read the thing on the Discord to understand that fully. Yeah, but I guess it's not a big deal if the guesser actually picks the article. Well, how I think it'll work is that everyone takes a random Wikipedia article and slightly studies it so that they know what's in it, what it is, and then enters it as text on Roll20, which will make it anonymous. Will it? If you enter it as text on Roll20, it will make it anonymous? Oh, you mean if you type it as a character? Is that what you mean? Also, which campaign do you want to use? Are you going to set one up, Mr. W? which will be anonymous, and when every describer has done that, the guesser gets to pick one out of all the ones listed for everyone to describe. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I may need to make a Roll20 server though, but that shouldn't be too difficult. You don't make a server, you make a campaign. All you've got to do is, if you've already got an account on Roll20, you've just got to go to the homepage basically, and then, well, create a campaign, and then it'll give you an invite link. If you go into the campaign, every time you load the campaign, it'll post an invite link for you. So you need to copy that link, give it to the players you want to join, and then they can put that in, and then find the game that way. Also, I need to have a look at how full this platform is, because I think it's it's overflowing. It is overflowing so much. We need more trains on this, definitely. Let's see how it'll pick stuff up, then I'll read the rest of chat. Look at all this coal and iron waiting. I'll have to have a look at the truck stops as well and see how they are doing. Okay, here we go. Oh, look at that. It's loading and loading and loading. See, I told you at the beginning we'll get to loading and reloading. And yeah, it's not even scratched the surface. The platform is still full and overflowing. Although it seems they've gotten a pretty good mix of freight there, which is good. How heavy is this train? Can I see? Weight. Over 1,000 tons. Okay. I'll definitely need... Well, we need to duplicate this train a whole bunch of times. So we need a rate of... So that's 400, 400, 400, 400. So that's... Yeah. Okay. Right. So let's duplicate this 4 more times, I think. Well... Is it 4? Do I have to duplicate it 4 times? No, let's try 2. Let's try 2 times. Let's have a look at how that will go. Look at all the trucks delivering coal and iron. And a little bit of iron waiting there. That's fine. That's all fine. And yeah, you can see just how many trucks are going over this bridge. It was good. It was a good idea to build the bridge there. Yeah, it was definitely a good choice to use this locomotive for this train. Let's do a drive-by. Let's do it, well, here. Look at that. We'll just see how long this train is. And look at the grade that it's going up at. This is probably filling multiple signal blocks, actually. At least in some parts. Yeah, if you look here... Actually, this train is waiting because it needs to cross over. But if you look here, oh, maybe not just. Oh, maybe. Come on. There we go. It's blocking 3 signal blocks. This one, number 1, over here. You can see it's just gone past the signal. It's in this signal block. Number 2 is this entire signal block here, up to this signal, and then number 3 is this signal block, which is also being used up because the train's in that block. I'll be really interested to see what sort of income this will produce upon arrival. Let's save again. Yeah, let's just have a look at this. Why not? Wait, will I need a premium account for that? No. With Roll20, you can create campaigns with a free account. The thing is, you are limited to the amount of assets you can upload, because with Roll20 you have to upload assets to the server. So, and the thing is, with an account, all the assets are shared between games. So, for example, you're running a Pathfinder game and a Star Trek game, and you upload character tokens and maps for both, then that will share the same pool. And if you look on the assets library, it will all be mixed together. You can create folders, and then you can copy things from the reasons list into those folders, but you can't move them. So you can basically link them. It's not great. And you're quite limited in the space if you've got a free account, but if you upgrade to Premium, which is a paid thing with a monthly payment subscription, there's a subscription, there we go, then I think you get up to 3 gigabytes of data, which is one of the reasons why Fantasy Grounds Unity is superior to Roll20. There are so many reasons, at least in my opinion. But yeah, that having local data storage for your assets, and of course the fiddliness with the editor, and just so many quality of life improvements, it's, yeah. Anyway, but no, you don't need to get Premium to create a campaign, Mr. W. No, you can do it with a free one. Sweet. I've never made a game myself on 20, but still. Premium only brings you extra features like dynamic lighting and such. Yeah, dynamic lighting as well. Cause you can change your name, can't you? What do you mean, change your name? What do you mean, change your name? You can add playable characters and name those, but I don't think you'd have to for this. Yeah, you might just be able to do /as. I'm not sure if you can do that as a player, but the GM definitely can do that. Alright, so you don't see who posted the response, I see. You can add... Right. Everyone can add text onto the map, and no one will know who put it down. Well, maybe, but the thing is, with the text, if you accidentally hold the button down, then it will create the... I guess if you put all the colors as the same color, that would help. I meant more, in the Star Trek server you can talk as the Capital Duck, and we don't know who said what they said. Yes, but that's because the Capital Duck is controllable by all the players. So you can change whether you can talk as any of the characters that you have control over. So if you just create a character and call that character, I don't know, Stephanie, and then you give each player control over that character, they can all go into chat and say, okay, I'm speaking as Stephanie, and then put stuff in there and it says, Stephanie says this thing. Because you can give multiple players control of the same character. As far as I know, at least. I was never a GM on Roll20. That should be good then. Alright, true. Shadow's very nice SAR loco. Yeah. Wow, long train. Yes, South African landlords. Or railway. Then why is in the Asian pack? Maybe it was using Asian as well. Kind of looks like Edward. Edward? Edward was an old Victorian... What was it? 440? I think 440. You can say that again. Oh well, yes. I was thinking more along the lines of Hank. And here we go, pulling into the station with the first load of cargo. This should be really bring a lot of income. We'll see how much. Especially since it's going quite a distance. Does this really look like Edward to you? Unless you meant a different loco. Brake! Especially with such a long train. It's probably not fitted with brakes. Right, so we come in... How much? 15.3 million. There we go, now it's just unloading, and the steel mill just sprang into life. You can see the smoke being generated as it's already filling up the thing. So we will soon need to... Oh, this one's going this way as well. Ah, I see. That's okay. Yeah, we'll soon need to ship the steel somewhere. Because if we don't, then... Well, that could end poorly. So there's the other train in the line we've bought. I wanna... Actually, I want to stick with this one. The other one, the second one, because that's the one that's behind. Actually, no, you know what? No. I'll stop this train. Well, you know what? I'll follow the other train, and when this one's at the destination, I'll start the other one so that they're spaced out properly. It should do it itself, but it's best to give it a little bit of a helping hand. I really like it when you reuse a line for multiple lines. I feel like a railway track. Like, for example, this line was only built for the passenger line, but now we're using it for the coal and iron as well. And then we'll probably use it for other stuff as well, so that creates more traffic on lines, and busy lines is, well, interesting. Wait, I thought I'd stopped it. Oh, apparently I hadn't stopped it, actually. That's unfortunate. I thought I clicked stop. Apparently I hadn't. Anyway, this is overflowing still. Okay, how far did that train get? Oh, got to there. That's not ideal. Okay, let's start it up again, and then let's pause this train when the other one's at the station. That should be fine. This is fast forwarded, by the way, 4 times speed, as I'm sure you can tell. Ah, we'll have a meet. 2 giants meet on the road of steel. One significantly faster than the other. Oh, look at all the trucks going, like busy little ants. Okay, let's stop this train when it's filled, just as it begins to depart. There we go, stopped, and now let's wait until the other train is at its destination, so that then they're spaced out equally. Or should be, at least. In my experience, at least with Transport Fever 1, it was really rare to have an industry spawn that close to a city. Because if this city grows, then it'll grow around the industry. I'm not sure if this actually counts as emissions. I don't know. The industry itself doesn't count as emissions. It's just the trains that do. Interesting. Right. So I think we should probably leave this running for a bit. Let's see, is this? Yeah, it's producing stuff, but it's not shipping it anywhere, obviously. Actually, should I set that up? I should probably do that. Although that, no, I won't set that up now. That will take too long. There we go, let's have it like this. Okay. Well, let's have it centered a bit more. Well, maybe like this so we can see when a train arrives. Yeah, that's nice. Ooh, well, yes. I was thinking more along the lines of Hank. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, Hank. Rings a vague bell, but I didn't watch the modern ones. Fun fact, he was actually based on a PRR K4. Yeah, so PRR K4, just look at that photo. Look at how tiny that man is standing next to that locomotive. Trace, yep, you got the rhythm. Trace, that was right, yeah. Yeah, I get that. When Hit Entertainment took over, they made a lot of changes to the show. Previously, Timoth Shets used to be more realistically. Engines that were nearby by nightfall would spend the night there. After Hit took over, it became a hub for all of the main characters, and those only. Also, the Hit era brought along many gimmicky kids locations like the bakery, the chocolate factory, and the toy shop. True. Also, they introduced many new characters like Hank, Molly, Billy, Murdoch, and many more. Yeah, but I liked Murdoch. I liked the orange engine. Also Molly. I liked Molly as well, the yellow engine. But those were basically just one episode throwaways for the most part, which they never touched again and only created them because of merchandise. And instead of reintroducing these, they always just make more and more new characters. Granted, they did bring back a few, but not many. True. But then again, I did like Murdoch. Right. Shadays, I never would have gotten that Oak reference probably, even though I've heard that song many times, as you know. Sorry. It's fine. Shadays, roll 20 for the text tool. Right. Shadays, I meant typing it on the map. Adding it to the map. Yeah, you don't have to. If you just create a character, and then name that character, I don't know, Shelly. Surely that will work. Then you can give access to that character to all players, and then players can type as that character in chat, and that should work better, I think. Plus you can post links if you want in that, and you can more easily access that. I think that'll be better. Right, yeah, those covered soft top trucks are definitely coal and iron trucks, of course, yes. You wouldn't want to get wet. XDDD. 37 wagons on that train. Did you count? Roll 22 to Fantasy Ground City. What are you? Fantasy Ground City. I am you, but stronger and less buggy. Shudders. Although, Roll 20 is free. You can use it for free, and it will take you a while to run into restrictions. Fantasy Grounds Unity, you have to have at least one player who's bought... Okay, either everybody has to have standard licenses, or you've got to have one player who's got an ultimate license, and then the others can play for free. You've got subscription model, you've got pay once model, but you have to pay for it. But then again, you do pay for quality. Which then, of course, translates into saved frustration, so less frustration, and of course saved time. So, yeah. So, you could make a blank character called Anonymous, and everyone will talk as that. Yes? Yeah? Yes. South African Railways, yes. Edward was one of my favorite characters, and then they axed him. Compare the two. Compare the two? Yep. You've seen it long. Sure, let's compare the two. Where's the train? It's been a while since there was one here. Look at that. Compare it. Is that really like Edward? I mean, it's of course similar, in the same way that it's similar to Rocket. But, yeah. Anyway, let's get the camera back nice and quickly. Nice and quickly, shall we? Nice and quickly, yes. Let's have it like this, actually. Compare the two. Shadays 4. Oh, yeah. True. But if you can just put text into the map itself anonymously, then that'll probably be easier. No, I think the other thing will be easier and less fiddly. Creating a character, naming it anonymous, giving all the players permission to control it, will be so much easier. Trust me, I've used Roll20 for a while as GM in multiple games, and that will be so much easier than having to fiddle around with the text on the map. Because having to switch around the view and right-clicking to edit, right-clicking to move the view, and then it cutting bits off the bottom, then snapping the view suddenly downwards and moving it over again. all of that hassle you won't have to deal with if you just do it with a character. Trust me, it's gonna be easier. But it's up to you. Mr. W. Yeah, if it works. It should. We'll see. But yeah. Really looking forward to playing it. It'll be fun. I'll be having fun telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the lie. No truth. Just haha. The truck's going like bussy little ants. Yes. Yes, like this view. Nice. Yeah, I like them too, but they barely did anything with them. Shreddice. True. Shreddice. If that's easier, I'll probably do that. Also, Shreddice, have you made a character sheet for Mad? Not yet. Shreddice, color-wise, and it has a tender? Well, lots of locos have a tender, and color-wise, this one's purple. Edward's blue. And with tender, again, it's the thing is, with the tender, Rocket, the first locomotive that had like a flumed boiler, horizontal boiler, vaguely horizontal pistons, a tender, all that stuff. Rocket. So much of that is in that. Like I would say that locomotive is as similar to Edward as it is to Rocket. I would say, at least. Well, mostly anyway. Yep, great character. And then they got rid of him in one mediocre episode. And the thing is, no one cared about him leaving the sheds. Literally, the first thing of the character says, one of the characters says, Emily, is, I wonder who will be joining us in the empty berth. It's like, oh, a friend who's been our friend for literally many decades, because Edward as well as Emily are both Victorian locomotives. They've been alive for what would it be like? If it's 60s, then it'll be like at least 70 years, something like that. In the case of Emily, she's a Stirling single wheeler. Those were built in the 70s, so it would actually be like 90 years. Yeah, she'd be alive for 90 years. Edward being alive for most of that time as well. And then that friend just leaves. And then first thing she says, oh, I wonder who will replace him. Yeah? Yeah. I know, it was meant to the kids. Because even in the episode, it's a characters multiple times saying, yes, Henry and Edward are leaving, or just Edward's leaving, but it's not a sad thing. No, Edward's leaving, but he'll still be around, and someone new's gonna come instead, yeah? Someone new will be along to fill his slot. It's like directly talking and the kids, okay, we're getting rid of this character, but don't be sad, there's someone new coming. And new characters are great, aren't they? Aren't they? Yes. Shreddice, isn't there a way to change what people's names come up as on Discord? Although your logos will give it away, so we'll do the Roll20 text thing. You can change... On Discord, you can change the nickname that someone has in the server, but the profile picture won't change, obviously. Yeah. And they got rid of Henry with literally one line in some episode, which wasn't even explained. Just wait, that's purple? Oh dear. Shreddice, who's Rocket anyway? Haha. Rocket is Stevenson's locomotive at the Rainhill trials. When they built the Liverpool to Manchester Railway, they held trials to find the best locomotive in the land, and there were 4 contestants, 2 of which were a serious competition, but then for Rocket, but they were the best of an old design, basically the best of a dead end, even though those locomotives were comparable, they were the best design of a dead end, whereas Rocket was revolutionary. It had a flumed boiler, which means it had pipes running through the boiler that the fire, the flames, the hot air would be sucked through to increase the surface area that the boiler would use to heat up the water. So more steam, more pressure. It had the pistons. Yes, the pistons were diagonally mounted, but the pistons were not vertically mounted, and they were in front of the locomotive. And overall, Rocket is basically the blueprint that almost every, if not every, single locomotive, steam locomotive that was built since was built after. So yeah, Rocket is quite a big deal. But the thing is, those other locomotives, basically, Rocket won the Reynolds trials basically by default. Because there were three other competitors. Yes, three other competitors. One of them was disqualified immediately because, well, it was a horse on a treadmill. The treadmill broke and the horse fell through. Even though it would have been disqualified anyway. Let's actually, what should we do? Which industry first? Let's do this first. Beijing Machines Factory. That'll be good. Although, actually, I see some. Should I not? Yeah. So the horse fell through. Of course, it would have been disqualified anyway. But the other two. One of them was a very compact design, very small design. It was actually quite quick, but of course it was a teapot design, coffee pot design. I think it's the term, which means it had a vertical boiler, which, well, isn't great for multiple reasons. One, it's harder to heat, and two, it means that the firebox has to be below the boiler, which means you can't really see, one, how much water is in the boiler, or two, how much coal is in the firebox, and three, clinker builds up. Clinker is a very rock hard substance of like ash and basically residue that builds up and has to be periodically cleaned out. But for that, you have to, of course, extinguish the fire, wait for it to cool down, and then you can take out the ashtray, clean out the clinker, the ash as well, put it back in, and then do that. Which means you basically have to shut off the whole locomotive to do that. Which obviously isn't ideal. With a horizontal boiler, like Rocket had, you can just clear the firebox out while, well, the ashtray out while you've got fire, and you can open it up horizontally, you can look in, see how much coal's in there, how it's spread out. It just had so many things going for it, yeah? But that locomotive, it broke down. The thing is, that was built in a couple of weeks by people from a different country who didn't get basically any warning or any opportunity to test their design beforehand. The test was the trial, and they had to do repairs in the shed the day before the trial. They had to complete it. And the other one, a French design, was, while it was the best of its line, so the best of a dead-end line of locomotives, it also had a systems failure. One part, so it was built, so the company, the people who built it, had to outsource the construction of the actual parts. So, yeah, they had to outsource that. They couldn't do it themselves, they had to outsource it, and they outsourced to many different companies, but one part was outsourced to Stephenson's company, because they were building locomotives for a long while at that point, for mines and stuff, like very old designs, like Puffing Billy type designs, or similar to that anyway. And that part that had been outsourced to the Stephenson's Co. was faulty. It failed during the trial, causing the locomotive to quickly lose steam and stop. It could not be replaced in time, and so really the only contestant left was Rocket. And so Rocket kind of won by default, although it's actually a good... But the thing is that Rocket would have probably won anyways. And if Rocket hadn't won, the only really other contestant that would have won, maybe, was the French design, I forget its name. Which is a good thing it didn't, because that, again, was using a coffee pot design, so a vertical boiler, which, again, didn't really have a future. If that had won, then very likely we may not have railways. If we don't have railways, then the world would look different, or at least we would have had railways much, much later. So, drag strip. Is the story from the locomotive drag strip? Yeah, the Rainhill trials. You've got it, Mr. Snipes. Also, hello, Mr. Snipes. Welcome. Yeah, I'm just explaining to Mr. W what Rocket was and how important and revolutionary that locomotive was. Because the thing is that in a couple of years after Rocket's debut, it was already outdated because it was such a revolutionary design that... Oh, that's not got a connection. That's not good. Why isn't that got a connection? Ooh. Oh! Oh! I know why. It's because there's not actually a crossover here. We need a crossover. Anyway, right. Yeah, because the thing is, it was already outdated. So, yeah. And if you look at it, that was in, I think, 1823, I believe, the Rainhill trials, 1823. And in the following decade, well, 2 decades, really, you've already got the Great Western Railway. You've got London Underground starting. You've got so much stuff. You've got locomotives being exported around the world. And all of those designs based on Rocket. So, yeah, Rocket is definitely worthwhile. At least, that's what I would say. Right, so this, I'm just gonna check if this line is correct. I'll read chat in a bit. I want to set this line up to deliver the steel to the machine parts factory. Let's have this, so this is all okay. That splits off, goes through. And hopefully, yeah, this uses the correct track. It's not using the siding. It goes on to there. Actually, it's the oh, no, the date's going. The date is going. False alarm, the date is going. It's unpaused. And that goes over here. Unfortunately, that'll go through the passenger side. That's not really what I want. But then again, there's no real way of crossing over here. Which means I'll probably have to go on these 2 tracks, but I can't go on those. Then I'd have to go through the siding. That's annoying. Well, I guess I'll have to just deal with it going through here. Anyway, it'll go through there, then it'll go over through here, which will add more traffic to this, but that's fine. I'll go over there like that and go in here. And it'll have to wait until full there. Let's see, there's enough space for 2? No. It can drive up to there, but then they'll be in the way still. Okay, well let's just try it like this. Let's do, oh, what's it called? Oh, it's Harbin, of course. Let's do Har Steel freight train. Right. So, what do we need? It's nice because the iron and coal is coming here, then that's being shoved all the way over there, and then the steel is only being brought over here. So, yeah, and there is a steel mill here, so I could just have it set up like, take with trucks going from here to there, taking from there to there, and that'll be much quicker, but it'll be a short distance, so it'll basically not be worth much. Let's use let's use this depot, whatever. And yeah, let's use the really strong loco again. Let's use a black design for now, shall we? That'll look nice. And we want the steel ones, so I think it's 300, yeah, let's do 320 meters, I think it was, 320? Yeah, sure. And then let's buy one of those again, $25 million. And here we go. Should I pause the date? I probably should. Let's wait. Let's see if we can pass onto the tracks even. I already do also need to upgrade a lot of these trains. There we go. Look at that locomotive in the shiny black. Quite nice. Really quite nice. Yeah, let's stop the date. because I like to stop the date when I'm reading chat and just driving along with the loco, so we don't miss stuff, basically. Yeah, let's leave it like that, sure. Now, where was I? Right, because Mr. W said, Sharez, who's Rocket anyway? That's why I went to that story. This AmericanRails.com replica. Yeah, that. Isn't a beautiful loco? I think that locomotive has got the reduced funnel, because actually the... Oh, are they stuck? Oh no. Oh no. That I did not want that to happen. Okay, this train needs to actually reverse. Okay, it can't reverse. It needs to go... No, stop. Okay, causing a traffic jam, hold on. This train needs to reverse. Basically is what needs to happen. Oh no, this train needs to... That's... Okay. This train, please go back to the depot. Oh, you're going... which depot are you going to? You know what? I'll do that, and then I'll put it back on the line, and then have it turn around, and then hopefully not get stuck. Actually, that should work. I will... No, that won't work. Turn around. You can't get the way. Okay, 1 second. Hold on, I'll need to fix. Okay, now it's on this line, which takes it over to here. That takes it over to this line, which then, if I... Okay, this could break stuff, but it's only going to be temporary. If I put in a crossover like that, then will that make... No, that won't change anything. Good. Good. Although that will not go onto the correct side either. That'll go on the wrong track. So then I'll need another line going over like this ideally, but I think the signal might be in the way there. No, like that. That'll be good. That hasn't changed anything either. Good. So now if I select this train, reverse it again, that should work. Yeah, it'll work now, hopefully. Yes, so the original design had a much taller funnel, but they've had to cut it for the replicas because bridges loading gauge changed. But actually, is it Manchester or Liverpool? I think it's Liverpool. Yeah, in Liverpool, you can actually still see the old engine house, because the engine house was built into a cutting, where they had this great big archway, which actually had to be torn down even a couple of years later, I think like 10 years later or something, because they had to extend the line, because it went down to the docks through a tunnel, which had a cable pulley system to get the wagons from the docks up to the station where the steam locomotive would then take over. Very, very interesting. And you can actually explore that if you want to. You can actually go down there and explore those old locomotive berths and boiler houses back built into the rock face, because it's in a cutting. It's fascinating. And the thing is, there's actually a line that's still being used for shunting that goes down through there. It's actually on the side of it. It's in that cutting. It's very, very nice. Very interesting. You can find videos on YouTube about that anyway. If you are interested at all in this, then I would suggest you do. Oh, so not a character. No. Rocket is a character in Thomas and Friends. It's Stevenson. Because obviously Stevenson's Rocket. The Stevenson and Co. built it. And of course, Stevenson Co. was at this point already established, building lots of different locomotives, many locomotives. Yeah, huge plans for all this stuff. Suppliers, they really had the best shot at building the best locomotive, so yeah. Right, oh, that's a floating palm tree, how nice. Oh no, a floating signal, how nice. Right, so yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, at least I find it interesting. Although to think that I think Stevenson was originally a miner, like very low class, like very, very low class. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he was a miner. It was either him or Trevithick. It might have been Richard Trevithick, the inventor of the steam locomotive. Either of them, I'm not sure which of them. It may be Stevenson. I think it's Stevenson. Yeah. Yeah, it has to be Stevenson. Yeah. Maybe both, actually. Anyway, Yeah, Stevenson's Rocket. They did also include them in the CGI Thomas the Tank Engine series in the form of Stevenson. Sure is, exactly that. The architect also said that in the BWBA review, Big World Big Adventures. Yeah, that was probably referencing that they're telling the kids that, don't worry, it's okay that we basically killed the character, the beloved character that's been there from the very beginning, the character that was literally the first character that spawned this entire series, because the first ever story that was written in that universe was about Edward the Blue Engine, the first character to ever appear there. Don't worry, it's okay, we've basically killed that character off. But look at these shiny new characters you'll get, who are, of course, pushing political agendas. Yes. At least they went to the decency of not completely erasing the characters and actually explaining that they've got rid of them in an in-story reason why they're not there anymore. Yeah, true, but I'm not sure that that's much better, to be honest. Also, one of the Thomas the Tank Engine's producers, also said that Henry and Edward would still be very much part of the show, and that isn't true at all. After that episode, none of the two spoke a single line, and Edward was only briefly shown for, like, not even 2 seconds in some song segment. Yeah. Do we already have Steel waiting here? Yes! We have a little tiny bit of Steel waiting here. Actually, I'm going to fast forward until we get underway, because I've told it to wait until full here, which means it'll be a long while. So I'm actually going to fast forward, yes. You can see, but steel is really very heavy in this game as well as in real life. You can see we've got steel bars on these wagons that are slowly being loaded by the steel factory. And remember, every bit of steel we load is 4 other items. Because if you look here, you can see it requires 2 iron and 2 coal to create 1 bit of steel. So, yeah, steel in the steel mills, they just eat up so many resources, so much stuff. Which is also why they're so profitable. Yeah. In this game. Yeah, I'll just reach out like this. Right. Yeah, they have gotten rid of them. Yeah, I know, but at least there's an in-story reason as to why they're gone. I just made my first cornfield! Oh, you mean in trains? The city limits are ending. Ah, nice. Oh, right, is that your interurban route with street running? Is that one you mean? Oh, how nice. Could you share some screenshots? I'd love to see it. In Discord, probably, because I don't... Oh, and there we go. There's the next train, which dumped a whole bunch of iron and coal, which will then, of course, allow this thing to produce more stuff. You know what? Actually, let's just tell this train to go. Let's tell the train to go now, and it can wait for full load the next run. Right. Hey. Well, I don't know. The episode where they got rid of Edward was a new shed for Edward of the 21st series, and they've just put into some other shed and paired up with this guy, Philippus. And no one even cared. Welcome in. I could also go into more detail on why Edward was removed. Number 2 and number 3, Edward and Henry, but I'll leave it up to chat, or shall I decide? Well, if you wanna, go ahead. Mr. Snipes, nice! I'd love to see a pic of it. I vote you do, but be quick as I have to go in about 5. Oh, you have to go? Oh, well, hopefully you're not gone already. If you are, then have a good night, Mr. W. Is this a story from the Locomotive Drags trip? Yes. Oh, alright. Is Rocket from before rockets were invented, like rockets were named after Rocket? I don't think so. I think that rockets were an older invention. Yeah. I can't look it up, but my kind of My feeling says rockets are an older invention. Yeah. Didn't the Chinese already have rockets with gunpowder in the medieval times? I think they had fireworks in China in medieval times. Yeah, rockets have to be an older invention. I'm typing. Thought so. Right. So there have been articles about Thomas the Tank Engine falsely claiming that female characters weren't represented in the show at all, which wasn't true, as like half of the season's lead characters were female. Yeah. So Mattel, who now own the franchise, have made a decision to axe two of the main cast to replace them with new girl ones. Yes, and that's exactly the reason why. So the thing is that about representation of female or male characters or whatever gender you mean in a certain thing, whether this is at a workplace or in a TV show, whatever, there are guidelines, in some cases laws, that say you have to, well, for example in this case, they want, okay, more female representation. Why? Because we don't want to be sexist and not have enough female representation. But then you're just being sexist the other way. You're saying, okay, we have to get rid of these male characters. Why? Because they're bad characters. No, we have to get rid of them purely because of the fact that they're male. Yeah? And that's sexist the other way. So it's not better, it's just reversed, essentially. And yeah, in some cases, yeah. In some cases I can see that in a franchise like this, or in a franchise in general, if you're making a new cast of characters and you find you've got basically all male characters mostly, and then you think, well, for whatever reason, maybe because you want a female audience to be able to identify more, or because you just would like more diversity, and you change some things out, then yeah, sure, that's of course a sexist decision as well, technically speaking. Because you're changing characters purely because of their gender. But they're fictional characters, so it doesn't matter. But yeah. The thing is, with an already established character, that is just so much worse. At least, I mean, that's my opinion as well. At least. So I would be interested in hearing your opinion on this, if you have one. Right. And the thing is, to bring such a thing into a kids' show is... all of the other characters were too popular with fans, so they just decided to axe Edward and Henry. So they replaced them with Nia, whom they had introduced in the Big World Big Adventures movie, and Rebecca, both of which never had any unique characteristics and personalities apart from being happy and that they enjoyed helping other engines. Yeah, they've replaced those two characters with history, who genuinely had character to them, with basically hollow characters. And the thing is, Rebecca, the engine Rebecca, I think it's a bullied Light Pacific. I think it's a bullied Light Pacific, or Merchant Navy, whichever. Light Pacific. I think it's a bullied Light Pacific, which actually has that locomotive in real life has a lot of really very interesting lore behind it, a lot of interesting story. For example, one thing is, as it does in the show, it has those very straight side plating streamlined effect, very straight edges inside, which in the real world were put there so that the locomotive could use the carriage washing, the carriage washes basically, to make it easier to clean. Yeah, so it had these big side plates so you can just wash it with the carriages. Yeah, that's interesting. Also, that was in a post-war time where the railways were ground into the ground, basically. Actually, was it post-war? I think it was post-war. And there was I've talked about this before in my Train Simulator stream on the Somerset and Dorset Joint Railway. But anyway, there were concessions, there were laws that railways weren't allowed to build any more express engines. However, Oliver Bulleid, who was a huge fan of express locomotives, so he designed a series of locomotives, several at least, that were basically express locomotives, but he just classed them as mixed locomotives. So they could run passengers and freight. and hoped that nobody would notice that actually these are plans for a new type of express locomotive. And nobody noticed, or the people who did liked express locomotives as well, but anyway, they were built. And they were all, because the railways were losing ever more ground to road vehicles. Yeah, I have to change this. This train's stuck here for far too long. This is a bottleneck. I have to change this at some point. Anyway, doesn't have to be now. Yeah, it also had a chain-driven valve system, a chain-driven drive, whatever it's called. Drive valve, whatever it's called, system. So instead of the normal pistons with the reverse and the connector like that, it actually had a chain system which was internal, which, while it was quite good for traction, it was very hard to repair and it broke down a lot. But those are genuinely interesting facts about that locomotive. But did they introduce any of them? Or explain any of them? No, well, introduce, yes, because she does have the side plating, but no. They didn't explain, they didn't even touch on it. Instead, her only characterization is that, well, two things. One, she's female. Two, she likes making other engines happy. And that's what they got rid of Edward and Henry for. Anyway. They could have just added 2 more berths to the sheds, but they didn't. True. And they could have brought back forgotten female characters which were already established, like Molly, but they didn't. Yeah, true. Molly, I really liked Molly. Also Victorian locomotive. They had to make bland new ones. And the thing with Rebecca is that they chose a really interesting and unique design for her. Yes. Whose line is it anyway? Whose line is it anyway? Isn't that a show? Isn't that a show? XD. Or a theater. Isn't that a theater piece? Right, I'm off. If there's any more Kangafango, send to me on Discord. Bye. They could have done so much with this, like for example giving her a wheel slip problem, which the real SR West Country class had. Oh, so it was West Country class, yes. Yeah, true. Like, I mean, to be honest, most express locomotives had wheel slip problems. Like the A3, the A3 Pacifics, they had really quite strong wheel slip problems when starting. If you look at a lot of old footage from them actually running, you can often see them wheel slipping as they're trying to get out of a station. The same with this, it's just, yeah. Because they've got those big wheels so they can go fast, but they don't have that much traction. They don't have, yeah. Bye, yes. I already read that. To give her just a little bit more character, but they didn't. Oh well, alright. See you soon, tomorrow. Good night. Miss W, not Snipes, yes. Alright, because you tagged him, right. Bye, Shadows, TTTs, Rockets called Stevenson, not Steve. Oh, Steven, not Stevenson. Ah, but yeah. Rocket with a capitalized R. Don't know, actually. Would make sense. Anybody knows where I can find some railcar similar to the DPQ? To the NSWGR DP100? Sorry, I don't. Unfortunately. Shadows, but you can ask in the train's official Discord server. People might be able to help you there. Shadows, shiny new characters? Shiny new characters? No thanks. Hey, Edward, a beloved character? Is Edward a beloved character or something? Yeah. Yeah, Edward. Because Edward, the thing is, with the original TV series, like with the actual beautiful model railways and scenery, there were 2 characters there that were my favorite characters. Why? Because they were wise. All of the other characters were acting childishly, like Thomas playing pranks and Edward getting revenge. No, Thomas playing pranks and Gordon getting revenge and all that sort of stuff. Henry being a bit scared and Percy being cheeky as well and all that, like the kids basically. But there were 2 characters who were wise, who didn't let themselves be pulled into those childish pranks and stuff, which was Edward, who was genuinely a kind, old, wise character. Most above all, he was kind. Always kind. I know I'm talking about the Doctor here, but no, I'm not talking about the Doctor. I'm talking about Edward. And the other one was Toby, who was similar. He was kind and wise. And yeah, Edward was, I think, my favorite character of that. But anyway, I'm not a part of the world where this show was not aired much, really. Hold on, let me see. That picture. Oh, this one's picture. Mrs. Snipe. Miss Snipes. Alright. Yeah, they've gotten rid of Edward. Yeah, similar to that. Yes, train suit. I think they were included in trains in the past. Not sure what they're called. It's NSWGR something. Older invention. Maybe. Yes, that makes sense. Chinese rockets existed for sure well before steam. Yeah. Although technically steam existed before that. Because the Greeks, actually, ancient Greeks, actually had invented a novelty device. Novelty! That was one of the locomotives that went up against rocket in the trials. Novelty! Yeah. No, it's just the French one that I can't remember the name of. Anyway. Right, they invented a novelty device, which was basically a brass or bronze ball that had two pipes going out either side. Two little pipes, which were angled basically different ways. So you would fill the ball with water, put a fire underneath it, the water would boil, and the steam would come out of those two pipes, and those would act like jets, then spinning the ball. Like those firework things you get. Well, you can get. So actually steam devices were before rockets and gunpowder. However, it was a novelty, entertainment. It wasn't really used for, as far as we know it, I should say, it wasn't really used for industrial purposes until, well, it was used for mines in Cornwall to pump water out of the mines, basically, because they built them under the ocean. NSWGR Silver City Comet. I've been looking for something similar, but with Windows. I personally use macOS. Alright, I could have a look on the DLS later on. Pound, never mind. Why not give Edward a gender change and cover that subject all in one? I think that would... You could do that, but I think that giving Edward a gender change would probably not sit well with a lot of long-time viewers. I mean, I myself wouldn't really be a fan of that in this case, anyway. But that is another option, yeah. Exactly. I mean, they could have gotten rid of Emily, but they didn't because, well, she was female. Not saying they should have gotten rid of her. They'd make it even worse, I think. That'd make it worse, I think. How would it even work? I think leaving him out entirely would have been better. True, but lavender paint can go. Oh, you mean just lavender paint? True. But then that would instill the thing in more in children that certain colors are associated with a certain gender, which of course is really not that great. Like saying, oh, blue is for boys, pink is for pink is for girls, because, well, it isn't. I really quite like pink, and I'm not a girl, so yeah. Trace, SR bullied Light Pacific West Country class. Oh, so it was Light Pacific. Yeah, Russ was there, right? Yeah, yes, Miss Snipes, I thought of that too, but I think it would have upset all of his fans, to be honest, yeah. And just the show's fans in general. Well, changing anything at all always upsets fans. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. If you have a look at the revival of Doctor Who in 2005, pretty much every single individual that I know of who enjoyed Doctor Who before then is a fan of that revival, and that has a lot of changes. It's just, I agree, it's difficult, it's really difficult to do, but you can pull it off. They're just after new fans, true. I guess, but having a female character called Edward would still be weird, I think. Trace, the chain-driven valve gear instead of the traditional wall shirts valve gear, yes. Yes, I said that while you were talking about lines and organizing the trains in game. Oh, I see. Also, Shard Ice, I think you missed this. They could have just added 2 more booths to the shares, but they didn't. No, I didn't miss it. I read it. I mean, I can reskin a DP100, yeah. Edward and Toby, Shard Ice? Yeah. Yeah, it was Edward and Toby. So, let's have a look. I want to have a look at how much steel is waiting there, and then... Oh, we've already gone loads beyond the time limit. I've just been really carried away with reading chat. I think half the stream is probably reading chat. And yeah, look at that. There is quite a bit of steel waiting here, but if you imagine how much stuff we ship here, there's only a quarter. So if we want a full train of this, we actually need 4 other trains bringing stuff here. I know, that's a lot of stuff. Also, I need to definitely get rid of this bottleneck. And by that I mean this bottleneck. So often are there trains just waiting here, which isn't great. Anyway, I want to have a look here how this is doing. Hello, how are you doing? You're overflowing. I think probably adding another one of these trains is going to be a good idea. Yeah, sure, it's only... how much? Probably like 25 million. It's probably fine. Right, so... Oh, we've got more chat reading to do. Interesting. Right, so... Where should I position this camera? I think probably, probably, yes. Well, should I... I want to put it in an interesting spot. Let's have it... Well, you know what? Let's have it here again. With a little... Look at this little beach. I've put a little bench and a little lantern down there. Let's actually have it... Well, I want to have both the beach and the tracks on here. Let's have it like this. That's probably nice. Let's actually save again as well. Guys, yeah, wheels problem. This idea was from the Unlucky Talks video, and so is this one. Season 21 was sort of meant to be a transitional series between Thomas the Tank Engine and Big World, Big Adventures. The idea is that Rebecca gets introduced in Rebecca at the start of season 21. Rebecca is a Pacific locomotive, just like Gordon. Gordon to have some competition, and they could have made it so that Gordon maybe takes a disliking to her at first because she doesn't want to be replaced. He doesn't want to be replaced. Yeah, yeah, that is true. But then again, locomotives being afraid of other new locomotives or even other stuff because they were afraid of being replaced is a very old topic. It's not really a new story to tell. But yeah, that would have still been... It would have been boring, but at least it wouldn't have been actively... well, worsening the situation. At least it depends on the writing. I guess it doesn't have to be boring. If you've got really good writers who really put effort into it, that could be fun. But I think it would probably be boring. Timothy Thomas' brother, was that real or fanfic? I don't know. I don't know. I think Timothy... I recognize the name Timothy, but I don't know. I don't know. Right, so... oh! Thumbnail! We need a thumbnail. It's another Timothy. There was a ghost story involving Timothy, a crashed engine. Oh yeah, that! That was... It was a fanfic. Wait, what? The thing with the crashed engine? Are you sure? And you get the thumbnail... Blah, blah, blah. Yes, that, exactly. I'm still amazed at how good the performance is with this game. Maybe here. Maybe that's a good thumbnail. Actually, with camera mode, can I change the field of view as well? Video. No, not video. Oh, did I... Oh, what happened? Did I... Not sure what that did. Oh, that's not nice. Is that taking pictures if I click like that? I'll have to look. User data, screenshots. Come on. Is that... Hold on. Hopefully it hasn't crashed. May have crashed. Not sure how this works. Escape maybe. Delete. No. That's unfortunate. But I did save. I did save. Yeah. That's not working. Okay. I think that's the first time this game crashed. There we go. Fast quitted it. I will go back in for just for a moment because I want to get a thumbnail. The Canon Timothy was a CGI introduced Quarry engine. Oh, I see. Don't know much about the fanfic. So then maybe Rebecca could have befriended another engine like Henry, and by the time the series ends, Rebecca would have proven herself to be a part of the Steam team, and she would have just gotten an additional berth in the sheds. Yeah, although I don't really like the term Steam team, because Steam team is a label that is quite exclusive. So if there was another character there who, like, I don't know, an electric engine, diesel engine, whatever, then originally the thing about diesel engines being really mean in the series was because when it was created, diesel engines in the real world were actually replacing steam locomotives. And a lot of people saw diesel engines as heartless. So they were actually villains, kind of, in the minds of a lot of people. So that makes sense. But Steam Team sounds like, oh yeah, we're a club. Oh, you're a diesel engine? No, you can't possibly go in our club. Only steam engines go in our club. We're cool, that's a thing. And I don't like that. Especially not in a kids show. Because that's not the sort of stuff that I would want to, well, this is not the sort of example I want to give to a young child. Anyway, and she would have just gotten an additional berth in the sheds. People would have gotten a chance of getting to know the character at all, instead of getting rid of beloved characters and just slapping a new character in the faces with no explanation whatsoever and just telling us to accept. Yes. Oh well. Aw. Did you save? Good. Funny, the stream crashed for me same time. Huh. Oh well. Yeah, same here. Internet cut out? I don't know. Okay, I kind of managed to reskin NSWGR DP100. Nice! Yes. Trace, yeah, true. I posted it on Train's chat. Sure, I'll have a look later. When I can. Yeah, I don't really like it either, that term. You're right, nice. Looking forward to seeing it. Sure, it's true. It also makes sense for Diesel 10 to be the evilest, being very modern for the time, having been produced in 1958 and 1961. True. Oh, see, it's even saved the position that the camera was at before, when I last saved. So, I was only wanting to change the field of view to get a better picture, but apparently that's not a thing that I can do safely. I mean, I guess it could be just off the trucks, the thumbnail, like this maybe. Well, that might not be interesting. Or actually, maybe just like that. I'll just get a couple and then I'll choose one later. Bit boring here. Yeah, you can see it's still loading. Anyway, I think that should probably be fine. Should I read the rest of my big message after the additional birth in the sheds part? I did. I did read it. I read it. I did read it. Out loud. Brett, the Harbour shunting diesel, and his sister Beverly need inclusion for sure regarding Steam Team. Fictional characters due to lack of show knowledge. Alright, never heard of them. Where are they from? Sure, yes, like this. They are from Briny Bay Locomotive Works. Alright, I'll keep that in mind, thanks. Okay, so with that, I'll finally end the stream. I know it's been ages since I've done that. There we go. No, not now. Ready screen, and thank you all very much for watching. Shoutouts, check out Kanga Fango, he streams on Sundays, driving and map building, all that fun stuff. Also have a look on, if you're playing trains, on the download station for Central Europe and Cornish Railways, 2 great maps. And that's it. So thank you all very much for watching. This stream will be archived, and bye. No, wait. Like that. So yeah, I'll try and educate myself a bit more on the show. Sorry for being confusing. No, it's absolutely fine. It's reasonable to not be that educated in that show. Shit is, yeah, I agree with the colors being slapped onto the genders not being a good thing, and also this team thing. It's just used because that's the official term. But you're right. Shit is, many thanks for the stream and shoutouts. Shout out, bye. Thank you for the stream. Oh, I had a lot of fun tonight. Thank you very much. Bye. Yes.